Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, it could just be a few months.
Murray now on first down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. Leading them out will be the 3-time Super Bowl champion, the MVP of Super Bowl 29, the dynamic Steve Young.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. Score, score. Cut. Come. Hey, team 6, team 6.
They'll run it with the 85 MVP, Marcus Allen. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield, get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. We're scoreless after 1. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. Now a play fake here on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. It's Young on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And he's going to go down again. Jeffrey Simmons in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. Antonio Brown. 39 yards. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
Well, partner, go ahead and strike up the band. Cue up the dance moves. AB is in the end zone yet again. And that's not a surprise at all. His ability to turn something into a bigger play after the catch, that run after catch, one of the things that helps separate him as one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Murray going to throw. Steps away. .158 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. To try again after the sack, Murray. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Murray with a 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time.
Now Young loses the football. It's stripped, and the Jags grab it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. It was Darnell Savage that time who was able to knock it away.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing.
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. Past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. First down, Murray. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. After the sack on first down, Murray. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Watch out for Hill on the return. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown, 69 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
A loss of 2 there, second down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game. He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Allen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Allen. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Come.
Young on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
60 outlaw.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Nick Bosa. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Throwing, Young. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Steve Young. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown run, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Check, check. Watch the before. Watch the before. Accuracy's trash. Let's go.
Murray now on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down, Murray. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield. Murray now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we make one more play, could have had our shutout.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and they add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marcus Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yes,
and the Raiders have got him. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Southern California.